Let's go! Arkansas gets throttled by Texas A&M. Let's break down the tape together. So obviously starting off this game on a 3rd and long, Arkansas just saw themselves in a lot of 3rd and not advantageous positions. I think Luke Haas is already out of the game with the shoulder injury, and Texas A&M decides to get exotic. They bring an elaborate pressure, and KJ does a good job just buying enough time and finding Armstrong eventually. So this has basically been the story of Arkansas season. The offensive line is just not good, and it's not just them, it's the pass protection as well. I just don't get the playing Dominion, really. He doesn't give you a lot as a runner, and as a pass protector, he is not good. The BYU game was definitely costly. Also, McKinley Jackson, who dominated you all day, breaks through, and it's a huge sack. Now, there was also a questionable pass interference penalty. They called it uncatchable. I thought that was absolute BS, and Arkansas should have continued the drive, but it made absolutely no sense to me. It's 3rd and 3. You have an opportunity to get off the field, and you decide to show, this 5-on-5 man pressure when Texas A&M is in empty. They are trying to get the football out fast, right? I can understand doing this on 3rd and 7 or 3rd and longer, but I don't love blitzing right here in a 5-on-5 situation, because if you do 5-on-5, obviously if you want to keep a safety over the top here, then you're going to be man-to-man basically everywhere. And Hudson Clark is man-to-man against their best player on the team offensively, Anaya Smith. This is just not good at all from the defensive coordinator. You had to know, watching the LSU film, that they were going to put Anaya Smith in the slot and try and get him on Hudson Clark. And actually, the coverage right here by Hudson isn't the worst. It's just in this situation, one of these guys have got to make some type of play, and we've seen this a lot with Landon Jackson. He gets close to making a play, but he doesn't quite do it. This honestly is really good quarterbacking, but the truth is, you don't want to live with Hudson Clark in that spot. What I would have preferred to do in that situation is put a 6-on-5 situation, right? And just go 0 across the way. All right, so they shot an all-22 version of it. I don't really have all that much time to go look for it. So this time on this 3rd and 4, Hudson Clark's probably thinking he has the safety over the top here on this deep over. But number 8 right here just flies way over the top over here. I don't quite get this. And because 8 decided to go all the way over here on this opposite hash, this allowed Hudson Clark going up against one of their other great receivers, 5-star Evan Stewart. So when Max Johnson sees this, this is just too freaking easy, okay? All he knows is Evan Stewart is going to beat Hudson Clark in a foot race over here. So this is an easy read when Max Johnson saw this safety fly over the top. I know you can't really see it on the screen. He just has to buy enough time for Evan Stewart to beat Hudson Clark right here in a foot race. And that right there is too easy. As you can see, number 8 is just too late getting back over the top. I believe that's Johnson, and that right there is an easy, easy, easy touchdown. So this is where Arkansas has been really freaking good this season. The RPO game, right? As you can see, nice little pull right here by KJ Jefferson. He had not one but 2 guys. Tesla actually would have been the better option, but the first read in the RPO obviously is the boundary receiver. They destroyed LSU with this last week. Really good job by KJ to get up, find the football right here to Armstrong, move the sticks. Obviously, the best play of the day for Arkansas is 3rd and 10. You can't really protect Texas A&M's defensive line, so you call a screen. And honestly, you get the absolute perfect scenario. You get 4 guys all the way upfield, and you get a 5th coming up from behind, and KJ has got to throw this ball perfectly in stride, and he does just that with the guy right in his face. And this honestly is just really special running right here by the Rocket to make this player miss. Chaparral, I think he was the one that had the 99-yard fumble recovery last year, and obviously to make another guy miss and cut in the open field. And it all was started with obviously the good play call and the really good throw right there by KJ. You get a good block by Tesla down the field. right here, and you get an explosive play. All right, so Arkansas ends up settling for a field goal, and this is a sign that Texas A&M really has worked on their scouting reports, okay? I want you to see if you, as an Arkansas fan, can remember this play design right here, okay? It happened recently versus opponent you just played, and if you guessed BYU, you are correct. It is quite simply the same exact design. That ended up being a very good tackle right there by Hudson Clark, but it's pretty simple, okay? The job right here of Ainias Smith is to show like you're blocking at first and then actually cut upfield. So what BYU decided to do was use a tight end here, and this is an easy read by Max Johnson. He's never throwing this vertical. His read right here is to this nickel defender, okay? If the defender runs down to guard the tight end, which he does, he's caught flat-footed. Once Max sees that he's caught flat-footed, he didn't even bite on this tight end at all. Max sees it, and he throws it right in stride. Really, really, really good offense. All right, I know I'm going to get some pushback on this, but the 4th-and-1 decision to go for it in the first half was a really good one. Texas A&M gives you a break. They jump off sides, and now you get the chance to go for it. Now, the one thing I disagreed with the announcers is they said this was less than a yard to go. I see this as a full yard, but still, okay? Now, even though I hate the play call, this actually should have been completed, but it was Brady Latham yet again, okay? So he actually gets a really good jump off the football, and he actually does a smart thing here on 4th-and-1. If we do not want this defensive tackle to cross through this A gap, if we're going to let him get through, you want him to go around your left shoulder instead of your right because it's a short yardage play to the right. The issue is he just overcompensated for that and leaned too hard. And once again, it's McKinley Jackson making this big play. He's able to swim over the top. And what you'll see here is Gums actually laid a good block. Tight end actually gets to the second level. This is perfectly blocked. And we have this safety who took a really bad angle here. And all we needed was just a better block on McKinley Jackson by Brady Latham. And you'll see Jackson makes this tackle, and this should have been Rocket Sanders versus this DB for maybe a potential touchdown. But McKinley Jackson was able to get it from the backside. You see Brady Latham on the ground right there, and that's why this play was stopped. So this ended up being a really good block by these backup tight ends. It's just one guy. That's why I don't like running right there on 4th and short, because every block has to be done well against an elite defensive line. All right, I thought we were going to be in for typical Texas A&M Arkansas chaos. God, this is just really good stuff right here from Lorando Snacks Johnson. You could see, just watch his head. Watch his head right here. Once he sees this motion guy, he knows what the play is. And he immediately starts running downfield, and that makes this block right here. The mistake was made by Ainias Smith. This is an automatic throw. Normally a DB is not breaking this quick, but this is a very experienced player. And 8 actually had a late turn right here, and he doesn't even actually try to go for this. He's already seeing Snacks breathing down his neck, and he's starting to make a business decision, and Snacks is able to just read that and score pick 6. But this is just so backbreaking. You know, you get that big play, you're able to get your hand on Max Johnson, and once again, you know, I don't really know what Arkansas is doing here. So you get a little JoJo right here on the tight end, and man, I don't know. Pass rush lane integrity just gets crazy. I've seen a lot of teams do this with their defensive ends, just drop them into coverage. I don't know. But either way, you lose pass rush lane integrity, and the next 2 weeks, you're playing yet another mobile quarterback in Jackson Dart, who I think is a better runner than Max. And then the next week, you play Jalen Milroe. And obviously, you've played a lot of dual-threat quarterbacks up to this point if you're Arkansas, with Jaden Daniels the week before. But yeah, I mean, you just can't lose pass rush lane integrity and give up just an easy run right there for Max. All right, so we move ahead here on this 3rd and 1. And once again, it's the same portion of the field. This area of the field, Arkansas just really hasn't been that good. It's kind of a dead giveaway that this is quarterback power. You could kind of see with this running back being right here that is more than likely Sanders is not taking this handoff, and this is just really good defense by Texas A&M. Just seeing this, you can already see them starting to fill this edge right here. And 89, who had a good block earlier, just gets absolutely destroyed right there by Fadil Diggs. A really good player. He was there for SEC Media Days for them, and there's just nowhere to go. I'm probably still going for this if I'm Sam. All right, so you get this absolutely massive fumble, and on the very next drive, once again, it is 3rd and long. You're asking KJ to bail you out of so many 3rd and longs this year. This is a really good pocket, all things considered, and he just misses this. This is probably the most negatively graded play, if you ask me, for KJ, especially if you consider, time and place here. You get very unlucky if you're Arkansas, okay? So, good read by KJ. He sees that this safety just kind of takes himself out of the play. So, he knows he has Armstrong, one-on-one right here. You got to lead him a little bit more. It was a slight underthrow, and the DB just gets so lucky that at the last second, he put his hand in there, and it did deflect the pass. So you'll see it here from this angle, okay? You see he has his hands out. So once your hands are out and you're starting to do this, and once again, you're having to go to the ground. It's a little bit different than if you're actually running in stride and then putting your hands up at the very last second. It's very nitpicky, but the bottom line is this wasn't a drop. The Texas A&M defender got very lucky just flailing his arms in there. Once again, he was the one, I believe, that had the fumble recovery last year. That is just one of the luckiest defensive back plays you'll see. You probably should still catch this, but ultimately the throw needs to be better. And this forced a long field goal. All right, so you get the ball back, and this is a pick six. And here's the thing about missing that touchdown, okay, and settling for that field goal, is that if you're down by 4, you're going to have to score another touchdown anyway. Now, they should have kicked the field goal, but that's why you've just got to hit that throw if you're KJ. Now, on this is just unlucky. This is the right, or what's this? Yeah, this is the right RPO read. KJ is throwing this ball, obviously, to Tesla. It is there, and that probably does get completed, but you just get so unlucky that they brought a safety blitz. Bryce Anderson is a very talented player, and this ball just floats in the air. I mean, that's just being a Razorback fan all in one right there. So once again, 3rd and longish. It's 3rd and 6, and they're bringing an edge pressure. It's not seen at all, not picked up. Rocket picks it up late. I don't know the assignments. I'm not in that meeting room. I always say with these film studies, I'm not a coach or a player, so I don't know all the calls, but that's just, I mean, the running back pass protection for Arkansas has had its issues this year. So I'll get some football back here. It's 3rd and 5, and KJ takes another sack. It just was not KJ's day. First thing here, I mean, this offensive line has just been so bad, and it's just something that KJ's just had to overcome. So he plays this one really bad game, and you could just kind of see, it's a little eye-testy for me. He just did not look like himself, right? He's just been having to carry this team, even against Kent State. Bad snap here, so now that just disrupts all this timing. The pocket is in his lap, basically. Now, the issue here is I understand there's a lot on this man's plate. This still should have been thrown and completed. It's 3rd and 5. We're kind of in a do-or-die situation here. This needs to be thrown. Either one of these, okay? Either one. It's got to be thrown. It just does. And there was a chance to, and he doesn't actually rip it. And I think part of it is because that last ball got deflected for a pick six a minute ago. Gets him a little gun shy. Then you get in Superman mode. You're just not going to get in Superman mode with a bunch of 5-stars breathing down your neck. Okay? Now, he did do a good job almost getting out of that, but still. All right, this is going to sound a little confusing because this cut goes from, the very next punt on 4th and 25. Arkansas's got to go for it here. Okay? You're down by 11 in the spot. 11. And it's 3rd and 5. Okay? Now, that ends up being 4th and 8. You need to score, right? You're down 2 possessions. I think Sam should have gone for it there. But anyway, it's 4th and 25. The game is essentially over. You do get the football back. And, well, Anais Smith is just a really good football player. And let's be honest, this building has seen some very gruesome injuries happen. I think Anais Smith actually got hurt in this game last year. Obviously, my thoughts go out to John Morgan, the Razorback who went down. I hope everything is good there, but man, Anais Smith is just a really, really, really good football player. Obviously, Arkansas's return units, it is what it is at this point. It's not the absolute worst thing in college football right now. But I do want to bring this up, okay? Now, you see Isaac Tesla, all right? This is a wide receiver who's had to sprint all game long, okay? I don't think I've really even seen him make a play on special teams yet as a tackler. I just would not have him in here at this point. I mean, there's got to be somebody else that could play this. I also don't like offensive linemen being on punt teams. They give you nothing, absolutely nothing as a tackler. Nothing. All right, so we move ahead to this 3rd and 9. There was a weird fumble by Texas A&M. The game's over, basically. You do hit this nice post right here. Tesla's running a deep route. He ends up eating up the safety. So, not literally eating up. That would be pretty crazy, though. KJ sees this deep shot. He hit that deep ball over the middle to Thompson last year in this game. And this time he hits Armstrong deep over the middle for a touchdown right here.